This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Gibbons. I'm the Director of Clinical Training for the Applied Clinical Psychology program at the Chicago School. And this is the first introductory presentation involving pre-doctoral internship. This is going to be the first of a series of educational resources for you to use. They're going to be short and they're going to be right to the point, so they can be used for easy reference and they can be watched multiple times if you're unfamiliar with the process or how it goes. My office is located on the Irvine campus, but I am easily available via email at mgibbons@thechicagoschool.edu. A couple of quick notes about practicum before we get into internship. Practicum is an 800-hour requirement that is required before you can begin the internship process. A lot of times individuals will do their internship training at the same site that's done at the practicum, but the practicum needs to be satisfied in full and the full extent of your contract must be filled out before you can begin accruing internship hours. Also, practicum is a requirement of the Chicago School, not of the Board of Psychology. So none of these hours are actually going to count towards internship, and you will only be satisfying the requirement for the Chicago School during your practicum training. Internship is a little bit different. Internship meets the requirements for both the Chicago School and for the first half of the Board of Psychology requirements. The school requirement is 1,500 hours, and this is the first half of 3,000 hours that the board will require moving forward. In addition, you'll also have to complete the EPPP, which is an examination of professional practice in psychology, and this you become eligible for once you finish the first 1,500 hours of your requirements for internship. The most important aspect to keep in mind for internship requirements is does your supervisor meet the requirements to be a supervisor in internship? The Board of Psychology provides a reference called the supervision checklist for you and your potential supervisor to go over, and the link is provided in the slides to follow. It's important to remember the requirements of internship. Remember that it's 1,500 hours to be acquired pre-doctoral, and that the requirements meet the satisfaction of both the school and the first half of the Board of Psychology requirements. When I say Board of Psychology requirements, I'm referring to California licensure, and this might be different if you're getting licensed in a different state. I encourage you to reach out to the department if this is the case, and I encourage you to reach out to the state to which you will be licensed so that you can make sure that you're meeting these requirements. The Applied Clinical Program in California is set up so that you meet the requirements for licensure in California, and like I said, they might be different in different states. But for here, we're focusing on 3,000 hours of supervised professional experience and the EPPP, which I previously mentioned, and the CPLEE, which is a California licensure exam. The 1,500 hours after you graduate are referred to as postdoctoral hours, and that's after you've met all the requirements of the institution, including practicum, internship, dissertation. After you meet those requirements, you're eligible to meet postdoc hours, and that's the second half of the 3,000 hours required for licensure in California. Now is the time to acquaint yourself with the state of California and the Board of Psychology website. There's a lot of material on there, and it's up to you to make sure that you understand it in full. If you go to the board and tell them no one told you or that you don't understand, they're not going to make exceptions for you. They held steadfast on the requirements, and it's up to you to make sure you understand the requirements moving forward. Here below is the link towards the supervision checklist that's available on the Board of Psychology, or you could also use the search button that's provided on the Board of Psychology website. In order to be eligible for internship, you must have completed the 60 credit hours, you must have a cumulative GPA of 3.0, and you must not have any program incompletes, failures, or outstanding requirements. And again, this is geared towards practicum. You cannot start practicum until you can't start internship until all the requirements for practicum have been met. The dissertation proposal is another milestone that you need to be reached. So your goal is that it reaches the approved stage with your dissertation. If you don't know what the approved stage is, make sure you're talking to your chair so that you can coincide having the proposal approved in conjunction with applying for internship. It's important that you keep in mind that you must take ownership of this process. The department is going to provide reminder emails and are there to assist you the best we can, but ultimately it's up to you to make sure that you're meeting these requirements. These internship agencies and the Board of Psychology will not grant extensions, so it's important that you're meeting all the deadlines. Now is the right time to start fine-tuning your cover letters and your CV, and also reach out to your letter writers to make sure that they're still eligible to write letters for you. You want to make sure that you are accounting for the turnaround time, and that so they have enough time to get back to you and you're not forced under stress of what the deadlines might be. Additionally, it's time to start thinking about and preparing for the interviews. Start researching sample interview questions, start gathering the writing examples that you might need, and start preparing yourself to dress professionally during these interactions. Lastly, you want to make sure that you're maintaining a positive and strong relationship with these organizations. Even though you might not get a placement at this particular time, they might be the next step for you down the road. So you want to make sure you're maintaining a positive attitude and you're maintaining a positive interaction with these individuals. That concludes the introductory interaction for this presentation. The next one will involve KPIC, which is a California-based internship site process. So be on the lookout for the following emails that will include KPIC. Thanks. Enjoy your day.